It's time for Access the Experts from the University of Nebraska at Omaha with your host, Brandon Axamit.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Access the Experts on News Channel Nebraska, where every Tuesday and Thursday, University of Nebraska at Omaha faculty members answer today's questions facing our state. Now today we have the pleasure of talking to Dr. Josie Schafer, who is the director of UNO's Center for Public Affairs Research, and today's question has to do with one of the state's biggest concerns, which is rural depopulation and specifically brain drain. So Josie, today's question is, what efforts are underway to create a stable future for rural Nebraska?
Thanks, Brandon, for asking that question. It's a question the Center for Public Affairs Research gets often, as our research focuses on the public policy impacts of the changing demographics of Nebraska. And it is true that folks in rural communities are leaving. While the overall population of the state continues to grow, rural counties across the state are in population decline. Migration trends show that rural Nebraskans are leaving for urban communities in Nebraska, and that migration tends to happen around someone's 20s. So why are folks leaving? I think there's lots of explanations for that, but we've done research with partners across the state to further understand. I think one telling study we conducted with the Nebraska Community Foundation. We surveyed high school students in a sample of rural communities across Nebraska, and we asked what they liked about their communities and what they didn't. Overwhelmingly, we found that they wanted to live in rural communities. They embraced hometown values, safety, and security that rural Nebraska offers. But when asked about job opportunities in their communities, they felt that they did not have growing job opportunities in their communities in the fields that they were interested in. Further, in workforce and economic analyses like those we've conducted with the Planning Committee of the Nebraska State Legislature, we too see that there's not the economic diversity in rural Nebraska and that wages tend to be a little bit lower. So what can we do about rural population decline? I think the first thing, invest in education. Schools are critical connection points between people and their communities. It's things they love about rural Nebraska. Career and technical education specifically will help to connect rural Nebraskans to the jobs that are in their communities and the jobs that are growing in their communities. Also, entrepreneurship education, helping Nebraskans learn to innovate and grow new jobs themselves in the communities they want to live in. I think we also really need to embrace folks that move to rural communities. We're seeing more diverse in-migration into rural communities, and so we need to help people to feel welcome in those communities. We also want to invest in critical infrastructure that allows people to stay in rural communities. Things like accessible and affordable housing, healthcare, and senior care are all really important to allow people to stay in rural Nebraska. We appreciate you. Check out more of our research at cpar.unomaha.edu.
Thank you so much, Josie, for sharing your expertise on a topic that impacts so many Nebraskans. For our viewers at home, do not forget that Access the Experts airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. only on News Channel Nebraska. On our next edition of Access the Experts next week, we'll hear from Dr. T. Hank Robinson, who is the director of the Office of Institutional Effectiveness at UNO. Lastly, do not forget, if you have a question you want answered, go to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the Access the Experts link to submit your question. You may just have it answered by a UNO expert on an upcoming edition. I'm Brandon Axamit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Access the Experts, presented by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. If you have questions, submit them on our website. Then join us every Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. while we answer your questions.